This right here is probably one of my favorite things to ever exist in Star Wars. Like, I swear, clones being adopted by other races and or children, like, you can't go wrong. It's just, it's always gonna be cute, no matter what. Like, But before we go any further, what is up, my dudes, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? I am one creative ginger, and in this house we have incoherent rants about movies, TV shows, and anything fandom related, all while dressed in cosplay. So, like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. So, right off the bat, I think the way that they paced this episode was great because it was just so different from the last one, where, you know, it would switch between, like, the present day and, like, his flashbacks, but this one, it just started with the present day, where Boba and Fennec, you know, they threaten that assassin that they found, who then tells them that the mayor sent him to kill them, and so they go to the mayor, who tells them that, oh, maybe he's involved, maybe not, maybe he hired the assassin, I don't know, you should go talk to this chick, you know? And so when they go talk to her, she's just like, oh, have you not heard? The Hutts are back in town, so maybe that's who sent the assassin, right? Like, there's a lot of shady stuff going on, right? Everyone's just kind of like, we don't know where the assassin came from, or maybe we do, who knows, right? It's just very sketchy shit going on. And so, you know, then the Hutts end up threatening Boba to, you know, turn over Jabba's throne because it's their right, you know? And then Boba's like, yeah, over my dead body, bitch, you're gonna have to kill me for it. So, you know, the Hutts end up backing off, but we know damn well that's not gonna be the end of it. Then they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back for that throne, but for now, they're letting it go. So we'll see. But that's where that storyline ends, because then we switch back to a flashback to, you know, Boba and the Tusken Raiders, who end up getting attacked by the Pike Syndicate, of all things, you know? I wasn't really expecting that, you know? But, like, yeah, they show up on, like, this crazy hover train and then just take out a whole bunch of the Tuskens, and unfortunately, you know, a lot of them die, and they have this whole, like, death ritual that Boba helps them participate in, and of course he's just like, this is fucked. So he ends up noticing some biker gang on speeders, so he goes to the bar that they end up at and kicks their asses and steals their bikes and then brings them back to the Tusken camp, and he's like, okay, we're gonna use these to get on the train and take out the Pikes, right? And so there's just this really cute, like, montage of scenes where Boba's trying to teach the Tuskens how to ride it, and it was just so fun to have that in there, because you don't see that a whole lot, where, like, the characters are learning how to do something or teaching something. Like, you see that quite a few times, because, like, we also see Boba learning how to use the little fight stick that the Tuskens use. We get to see him training with it too, which is really interesting. But yeah, this was cute. So of course, they end up taking down the train, and then Boba basically tells the Pikes that you need to respect the Tuskens and stop killing them, because this is their land and you should be respectful, you know, because it's not yours, it's theirs. They were here first, right? And the Tusken leader ends up later on giving Boba this little lizard that crawls up his nose and then leads him on this, like, crazy hallucinating dream thing to a tree. And then he comes back to the camp with a tree branch, and, you know, then the lizard removes itself, and then he's taken into one of the tents where they basically give him, like, this new outfit, which kind of looks familiar, you know? I think we've seen it before, right? And then, of course, after that, it comes my favorite scene, where the little Tusken kid holds Boba's hand and, like, leads him over to the tent where he, you know, gets to carve his own fighting stick out of the tree branch that he ends up bringing back from his, like, hallucinogen lizard trip. Basically, then there's another montage of him carving out his little fight stick, and it's so nice to see that, because you legit see him crafting the stick out of, like, a branch, and it was nice. It was really fun to see that. I just like that a whole lot. It was so interesting to watch. So then Boba is then officially accepted by the Tuskens, and they all participate in a ritual to basically solidify that fact. And that's how the episode ends, which honestly, it's another great one. The last one was great, and this one was too. It was really long, though, compared to the other one, because this one was like almost an hour long. But it was a great hour of just awesome shit happening. Like, I really loved getting to see more of Boba's character and personality, because again, we'd never seen that. He's been a goddamn mystery this whole time. Like, legit. He had like 4 lines and like, I don't know, 6 minutes of screen time throughout the entire original trilogy, right? He was not in there very much. So, like, we didn't really know who he was until now. So now we get to see more, and we actually get to see him without the armor, because we can see clearly he's been relying on the armor. I mean, you know, so it's interesting to see him adapt to fighting without the armor, because that's, you know, that's probably what he's relied on his whole life. He didn't see any other reason not to train with any other weapons, right? He thought he was just gonna have his armor the whole time, right? And then we also got to see more of the Tusken Raiders with like their culture and everything, which was really interesting because, yeah, we didn't really know a whole lot either. Like, we got some more context with The Mandalorian, but this we really get to see a lot because, for one, we get to hear their actual backstory from their perspective, and also see that there are different tribes of Tusken Raiders, because we see the differences between these Tuskens and like the ones in The Mandalorian, for example. Their clothing is very different. Also, with Boba defending the Tuskens' right to their land against the Pikes was very sweet. It was very nice, because, again, we don't know anything about him, so it's been really nice that we got to see, like, hey, he actually stands up for people. Like, yeah, he's been a bounty hunter, but, like, you know, that doesn't mean he's not gonna be a nice person. Like, he respects the Tuskens, and he's like, yeah, it's their land. You shouldn't be fucking around with them, because, you know, your karma's gonna catch up to you, like, which is what happens, you know? So it's nice to see that that's part of his character. Like, he cares about other people's rights to their land, for example. Like, he cares about, you know, that's theirs, and you shouldn't be driving by on your, like, hover train thing and shooting them, you know? That's not right. And then just a side note, I really like seeing the Tuskens, and also Boba as well, because that's kind of how they communicate, is with their hands and a form of sign language, basically. And it's great. I vibe with that, obviously. Yeah, and also getting to see the Pikes in live action was fun, because I'm pretty sure we've only ever seen them in animation. Like, I can only remember them from the Clone Wars or the Bad Batch. That's the only thing that comes to mind when I think about the Pikes. But yeah, it was interesting to see them in live action, even though they were a little strange. I don't know. There was still something about them where I wasn't quite sure if they were the Pikes or not. But other than that, like, they looked very interesting. I liked how they did the costuming and the makeup too, which has just been awesome too. Like, everyone who has some sort of makeup on, good shit. They do a great job, especially with, like, Boba's scarring from, like, when he was being digested by a Sarlacc. Like, he's got all this, like, kind of looks like burned or something. Like, he's got some scarring going on, and it looked really good, especially in the last episode as well. It looked great. I'm very happy with how that ended up looking, because it was subtle, but it made him look all the more digested, you know? And another thing that you notice, like, his outfit is what he was wearing in The Mandalorian, the same with the stick that he uses to beat the shit out of all those stormtroopers. Great scene, by the way. I still love that scene so much. Like, he goes to town on those stormtroopers. They did not stand a goddamn chance. It was great. But yeah, it was interesting to see him put his Mandalorian armor over the Tusken outfit and just wear both of them, because it's sweet. It's really sweet that he still, you know, respects that the Tuskens had accepted him as one of their own after all the shit, you know? Like, it's nice that he keeps it, and it does look good on him. Like, good shit. I'm glad. I'm glad he still wears that, because it looks great, and it's probably more comfortable on Tatooine, because, I mean, that's where he's staying, so might as well wear a Tusken outfit with your Mandalorian armor. It's probably more comfortable that way. And then, switching back to the present day conflict, we have all this drama with the Hutts coming back and Boba not backing down from Jabba's throne, and then all the, you know, the mayor and this chick being like, I don't know, we don't know anything about the assassination, or maybe we do, but we're not gonna tell you because we're shady, right? There's some stuff going on. And I think we're gonna find out what happens, right? We all know shit's gonna go down at some point. It's gonna get nasty. And I can't wait for that, because, like, with how this has been going, it's got me hooked. It's great. It is so interesting. And yeah, it's just gonna get crazier from there. But yeah, so that's basically all I have to say about Chapter 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. If you guys have any thoughts and feelings about this, share all that good shit in the comments down below. That was backwards. There we go. Sparkles. If you're interested in following me on other social media, I post art and cosplay related content on my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, if you'd like to get weird with me. So if you enjoyed this video, why not like, subscribe, and smack that bell if you'd like to see more of my face every Saturday when I post a new video. And don't forget to stay sparkly, my dudes!